Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I want to talk about letting go of a past relationship that you're still maybe you're mourning that relationship, or you're thinking about the relationship, or you haven't gotten closure in the relationship, or you feel like you haven't gotten closure in the relationship. One of the hardest realizations that you're going to have is knowing, if you're dealing with a narcissist, is knowing that that person really didn't care about you as a person, okay? This is one of the hardest concepts for people to understand, because they always think about the beginning of the relationship. They always think about how kind that person was and how giving that person was, and how they really thought they knew that person, and how that person was texting them all the time, calling them all the time. And you really thought in your mind that, this person really liked you. Okay. But what you have to realize is that a narcissist doesn't love the way a typical person who doesn't have narcissism loves. Okay. A narcissist loves something about you, but it wasn't you as the person. They loved the supply that you offered them. And what you have to really do is you have to reflect back on the relationship, and you have to say to yourself, what was it about me that attracted the narcissist, okay? Was it, a financial supply? Was it the fact that they were looking to get sex off me? Was it that they were looking for security? You had some form of security that you were offering them. Maybe they saw you as an opportunity, as a stepping stone to grow a business or something along those lines. And sometimes the supply could just be ego. And that's what a lot of people forget too. They forget the fact, a lot of people say, well, what are they doing with me? Why do they keep me around if they don't like me? Because a lot of them will keep you around for their ego, okay? They love to have their egos flattered. A lot of players do this, and a lot of people that play options do this. In other words, not everybody keeps you around because they think you're the love of their life. They keep you around because you're giving them something. You could be giving them attention. They like the fact to know that you're there. You're somebody to talk to on their downtime when they're at work. Okay? But the thing that you have to keep in mind is, if they were so perfect for you, things wouldn't have gone the way they did. And what you have to look at is the end of the relationship, not the beginning of the relationship, because in the end, you'll see who that person really was, because they're not guarded towards the end of the relationship. They're not worried about how they come off. They're not worried about the fact that they criticized you, because now they're criticizing and devaluing you because they're either sick of you, they're bored of you, or you're not offering any supply to them anymore, and they've gotten everything they can get out of you. So that's the true person, because if they really cared about you as a person, now listen, and listen good, you guys. When somebody really cares about you, they will not criticize and judge you and try to hurt you that way. There's a difference between, giving somebody, in other words, criticism to help them to better themselves. And there's such a thing as somebody just ripping you to shreds. And that's how you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, because a narcissist is very cruel about it. They will hit you every which way to try to hurt you. Now, this is what you got to remember. People get mad. But when you are dealing with a narcissist doesn't hold back. Whereas somebody else, okay, they're in a relationship with you and it doesn't work out. They may, criticize you here or there, but they're not going to really rip you down to the bone the way a narcissist is. And that's one of the, ways you could tell that you're dealing with a narcissist person, because a narcissistic person is going to they're going to bring up things that they know will cut you up to your core, okay? But what you have to keep in mind when you're dealing with these people, in order to keep your sanity and keep your self-worth, you've got to always look at this person and say to yourself, well, look at who I'm dealing with here. Always look at where it's coming from, okay? You're dealing with somebody who's a narcissist, who's trying to put you down, who's toxic. So never let these people get to you. I know that's easier said than done, and it takes practice, and it takes, really building yourself up to say to yourself and respect yourself and say to yourself, you know what? I don't give a fuck what this person says to me, because anything they say means shit, okay? Because they're a toxic person and they're trying to put me down because they're jealous of me or they're not getting what they want out of me. And that's tough shit, okay? That's just tough shit, because you have to have your boundaries in place. And this is another thing I want to bring up too about narcissists. They're always going for people that are people pleasers. They like people that are always trying to please, because those people are easy to manipulate. All right? Those are the people that are going to sit there and go back and forth with the narcissist and say, well, what do you mean by that? And I'm really trying here and everything like that, instead of saying to themselves, you know what? No, I'm not going to allow you to put me down. I am not going to allow you to disrespect me like this and, step away from the conversation and take a step back and say, you know what? Now there's nothing to talk about, because until you're able to show me respect and talk to me with respect, there's nothing to talk about here, okay? And that's the difference between somebody who values themselves and somebody who has, low self-worth, who is going to sit there and go back and forth with the narcissist trying to defend themselves. You do not need to defend yourself to anybody, and especially to a narcissist, okay? If you're doing everything that you should be doing in the relationship, you're a good person, you sacrifice, you try to, work with this person, and this person is just unbending, you have to just fly the flag and say, you know what? This person is impossible. And narcissists are impossible. There is no pleasing a narcissist. That's when you have to just you've got to abandon ship and walk away from that, or you're going to be constantly living with mess, all right? It'll never end, and it will escalate and get worse as time goes by, because the longer a narcissist has you, the more they feel they have control over you, and the abuse gets worse, all right? Like when you're dealing with somebody who's physically abusive, it doesn't start off generally as physically abusive. It starts off slower. They start out, emotionally abusive, calling you little comments like you're a bitch or this or that. That's how it starts, okay? And then slowly, as the relationship goes on and they've done that and you haven't checked them and you haven't put that boundary and told them, listen, you ever talk to me like that again, you and I will not be talking, and I will be out of here, okay? Because if you just let it go, without having a consequence to your boundary, that person's going to continue disrespecting you and feel like you're a jerk, and they can keep doing it, all right? But, this podcast is about letting go and looking back on the relationship for what it was, all right? You've got to look at it with your mind and not your heart. And you have to say to yourself, the relationship was not what I thought it was, and I have to accept that. I have to accept the fact that this person wasn't who I thought they were, okay? That's the hardest realization ever, is saying to yourself, this person was not who I thought they were. And what makes it harder is if you dealt with a narcissist that was love bombing you, okay, and really future faking and making out this perfect dream, your ultimate dream. You thought your ultimate soulmate was there, and this was your dream, and you were going to have a wonderful life with this person. And then all of a sudden, from nowhere, this person turns cold on you, all right? This person is no longer, maybe they're no longer texting you as much. Maybe they're showing indifference to you. This is what happens after the devalue stage. The narcissist is going to be indifferent. In other words, they're going to, take or leave you. And when they start to do that, when they start to show you that indifference, you can best believe they got somebody lined up on the side. That's why they're being indifferent to you, because they know in their mind they got somebody lined up on the side, okay? So believe me when I tell you, if they're not into you and they're not showing that, the attention that they were in the beginning, you can trust and believe that attention is going somewhere, all right? That this person was, most times is out creeping, and now they're showing indifference to you. They're still in the relationship, okay? They're still in the relationship with you, but now they have interest elsewhere, because now, you're at the devalue stage. They've, gotten everything they can get out of you. Now they're starting to see things they don't like in you, all right? Because narcissists are never happy, and they'll always find fault with you. So they're going to criticize you. They're going to judge you. They're going to judge you about everything in your life. They're going to throw out every rocket they can throw at you to try to hurt you, all right? And why do a lot of them do that? A lot of them do that because of abandonment. The biggest fear a narcissist has is abandonment, all right? A narcissist can't stand alone. A narcissist always has to have that security of knowing somebody's there, all right? That's why a lot of them have different options. They may not just be talking to one person on the side. They could be talking to 5 people on the side, because a narcissist can't be fucking alone, you guys. Believe me when I tell you, I've been around narcissists my whole fucking life. I'm surrounded by them, okay? I could write the book on this. And believe me when I tell you, these people cannot be alone. They always got something or someone on the side to validate them, okay? So this is what you got to keep in mind. And when you're looking back on this relationship and you're saying to yourself, we could have had the most wonderful life and everything, you've got to switch your brain up and say, you know what? That was a fantasy. That was a fantasy, and I fell into it because I trusted too soon. And this is why I tell you 101,000 times, do not trust anybody too soon in the beginning, okay? That's exactly the narcissist's goal, is to have you trust them within the first 3 months. They're going to push, push, push. Now, another thing I want to tell you guys is this. A narcissist in the beginning, and also towards, the middle and the end too, they're going to study you. These people study you. They're going to look at your facial expressions. They're going to try to read you to see where your head's at. They want to know if their lies, their gaslighting, their manipulation is working on you, okay? The best thing you can do when dealing with a narcissist is to show them no reaction, okay? Never let them know what you're thinking, okay? Because if you tell them what you're thinking, they will take it and they will use it against you, okay? So you got to be a little bit, more careful than that, than to wear your heart on a sleeve. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Stop mourning these type of relationships, these relationships where people had hurt you, all right? Stop thinking about, the dream that you had with that person, and start thinking about how that person criticized you, ripped you up, and really treated you like you were nothing, all right? That's what you should think about. And what you should say to yourself is, you know what? My haters are my motivators, all right? So, you know what? You want to hate on me? Well, guess what? Now that only gives me more fuel to do better in my life. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to move on and get into myself and build myself up and be around people that appreciate me, okay? I'm going to put myself around the right people that know how to appreciate somebody, and not somebody who plays mind games and who comes on fake with the love bombing in the beginning and entraps me because I trusted them that they were telling me the truth. Okay? This is what I have to tell you guys, all right? So you got to let it go, refocus, and focus in on the positive things in your life. Forget about the past. You got to let go of the past. That's one of the hardest things to do, is to let go of the past. But life is about moving different stages of life and different journeys. And now you're going to move on to another journey. And what you're going to learn from this is that you're not going to make the same mistakes you made in your past relationships. That when you meet somebody, you're going to move slowly with this person. You're going to look at this person. You're going to look at how they grew up. You're going to look at their family dynamic. I'm telling you, oh my God, I can't say this enough. You better look at that family. It's all about, I'm telling you, people are molded a lot by where they come from, right? Not everybody, but a lot are. And it will give you insight as to, can this person be in a healthy relationship, all right? A lot of people you meet, they're very nice. Everybody's nice in the beginning. Remember that. Everybody's nice in the fucking beginning, all right? They all got their face on. But as time goes on, you're going to really see how nice this person really is. It's like I told you guys, you go out on a date with somebody and you go to a restaurant, see how this person treats other people. How do they treat the waiter? How do they treat the other people? How do they act when they have to wait on a long line? Are they impatient or are they patient and they realize that, they could take their time, or they feel entitled, they got to cut the line or something like that. This all gives you insight into somebody's character, all right? Because how they are with other people is going to be how they are with you down the line. This is what a lot of people don't understand. That's why a lot of people, especially a lot of women, they'll fall for the bad boy type, right? Oh, I like him. He's he knows how to handle himself and this and that and everything, right? But then what they don't realize is that toughness is going to be turned on you one day, okay? Don't look at this person and say, oh, I like the fact that this person doesn't take any shit. I like the person that this person doesn't take any crap. Because you know what? They're not going to take crap from you either. That's what you got to know, right? If you've been around that kind of, those kind of people, you know how it goes. So, what do I always say? Look for somebody who's kind, all right? And kind over a period of time, all right? Not somebody that's over the top, with they seem like they're the greatest thing that ever walked into your life. If they seem like they're the greatest thing that ever walked into your life, 9 times out of 10, it's a fantasy, all right? If it grows organically and you're getting to know the person and you enjoy each other's company and there's no false future faking about beautiful dreams, oh, we're going to have a house together and kids and everything like that, and they're telling you this in the first 3 months, that is a red flag, you guys. That is a red flag. You're dealing with somebody who's full of shit, all right? Normal people moving forward in a healthy relationship don't make these promises. They take it slow and see how the relationship goes. They're not in a rush. So when somebody's trying to rush you, red flag, red flag, red flag, and slow them down. And if they have a problem being slowed down, then you're dealing with somebody who's trying to get over on you, okay? They should be cool with moving slowly. And if they're not, they're trying to, control you. So people that are controlling move fast. They want to own it. They want to own you. They want you to trust them. Why? Because it gives them more control over your life. All right? So watch out for these controlling type of people. Controlling type of people are generally narcissistic type of people. All right? And as far as your past relationships, your ex is your ex for a reason. Remember that. Don't go back, because same guy, same results. Or if it's the other way around, same woman, same results. And this is what a lot of people don't get through their heads. They think like, oh, they take back somebody that they dated and they think like, oh, let's give it another try. Whatever you saw that person's character, you're going to see it again. Only the second time around, you're going to see it even worse because you took them back. Now they know they got you. And the abuse is going to be even worse because now they know they got you. All right? So I hope that helps you. And if it did, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast, and have a great day. If you're having trouble in your relationship, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who's a narcissist and you're really confused, you don't know what to do, you need some advice or some clarity, well, I offer email and also phone coaching. Please go to the podcast description for the link on how to get email or phone coaching, or maybe you just have a question that you need answered. All questions will be answered confidentially. So go to the podcast description where it tells you how Yaz can answer your questions. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to make you aware that the Game Exposed podcast now has their merchandise available. You can check out the link in the podcast description. There's hoodies, there's sweatpants, there's t-shirts, there's cool hats. So go check it out. Link is in the podcast description. And follow Yaz on Instagram at dating_advice_Yaz.